YouTube right now to join us
in the collaboration.
Yes, at the collaboration station. Oh shoot! You know, I'm about to try to get our audio together.
Thank you guys again. It's Wednesday. It's your favorite day. It's Tea the Show day. I think we're gonna take ownership of Wednesdays. It's your favorite girls. It's Eb Deceleb and GemDTwin, and we are definitely ready to bring tea. I know this is off the late night. But we had to get it in. So even if you fall asleep, the good thing is you can go on YouTube. Hopefully we keep you up. If you got to go to work in the morning, I completely understand. But you can always tune in on YouTube and watch past shows, past episodes. If you do get on YouTube, the cool thing about that is you can collaborate with us and we can actually collaborate with you. Once again, it's Wednesday. It is 9:42 and we're about to get started. We're not going to hold you too long. We just ask you for an hour of your precious time. And let's get right into it. So, you guys, we always like to start the show off, as you know, on a positive note. So we like to start off what we call the segment PositiviTEA. The show is SipsTea the show. So for all those newcomers who are following the show, follow pages, SipsTea the show. Everything is surrounded by tea. So PositiviTEA comes from SipsTea the show. So PositiviTEA, I'm gonna go ahead and start us off. This is something actually I posted on my Eb Deceleb page. You guys want to go follow that page? I did post this earlier. Shout out to one of my girlfriends. She actually posted it and I reposted it because I just thought it was so dynamic. And I said, hey, girl, I'm going to quote you today because this is a come straight from her. So for me, it was evaluate people in your life, then promote, demote, or terminate. You are the CEO of your own life. And when I read, and it just like that was the first thing I had when I got on Instagram. It's the first thing I saw, and I was like, that was my quote for the day. Because honestly, we are the CEOs of our life. We don't have to deal with certain things if we don't want to. We're in position to. That's the one thing you can control is you. Yep. So you're in the position to give people promotions, demotions, or terminate them completely out of your life. Yeah. You know, those are all your choices. Yeah, those are all your choices that you can make. So that. Her Instagram. If you go to the page, you definitely see her Instagram. Please follow her. She definitely is doing great things out here. So go ahead and follow her on that. But once again, the quote is evaluate people in your life, then promote, demote, or terminate. You are the CEO of your own life. And that's it. Oh, hey, James. What's going on?
Hey, James. Over here in YouTube. How are you?
YouTube.
Yes, everybody, go ahead and join us on YouTube so you join the collaboration. As we said, this is SipsTea the show, and we thank you for tuning in. Eb Deceleb just delivered some awesome positivity, and let me give you a GemDTwin original. So I was pondering, as I do, ponder ever so often, okay? And I was thinking about, elevation and reinventing and things like that, and it literally came on me changing my lipstick. You guys, if you've been watching, I've been into these dark colors. I'm into light colors. But there's some things that I did when I was young. I was like, I love that, this, whatever. So I was thinking about reinvention and change. And this kind of came to me at that point.
Another time.
This came to me at that point. Sometimes when you're thinking about reinvention, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to change myself in this way to, elevate, do all of this other stuff. And we're talking about the things that we're doing to ourselves, which elevation is good and change is good and growth is good. But sometimes you got to return to your youth. And with that being said, my quote is, sometimes you just need to take a step back and remember who you already were before people started fucking with you, okay? And that's just because if you look at your life, things that, the way that you have changed and the ways that you have been, sometimes I think that some of our changes, good and bad, really, to do with another person. Somebody told you were too this or you were too that. If somebody told you were too loud, sometimes you decide that you want to be more quiet. Somebody told you you're too quiet, now all of a sudden you want to talk more. Somebody told you something about yourself, and you decided at that moment that you were going to try to change. And when I was thinking about this quote, it's because sometimes the things that we allowed other people about us were great things about us. Sometimes people treat you away and teach you not to be so open and so loving with other people. And you need to take that part of yourself back. So before you start reinventing and changing everything about yourself and trying to on these spiritual journeys and things like that, maybe while we're doing that, we have to contemplate a lot about ourselves and who we are and who we were before the world started fucking with us. So that's your GemDTwin original for the PositiviTEA, okay? And with that being said, we can move on. So the next segment is Brewing TEA. So with Brewing TEA, that is when we talk about people in our everyday lives and around us who are doing awesome things. And hopefully the point is not only just to highlight them, but also to motivate you, to motivate each other, to just use that positive energy and keep it going. So person I really wanted to highlight for brewing their own tea lately. You've heard us talk about him on this show before, and it's Big Livid with the RealiTEA. A couple weeks ago, we had RealiTEA on the show. It's an organic tea, and it's an energy tea, an organic energy tea called RealiTEA, and it's by Big Livid, which is the brand. You guys check him out on YouTube. Check out the brand on YouTube. His slogan is "Don't diet, live it," and the tea is really awesome. And it's like I said, it's an energy tea. It is on the shelf at 7-Eleven, and we have got to have this guy in here on this show so he can tell how he started selling these things out of his trunk. You know, how he believed in himself and how he markets himself to actually bring things to the store. A lot of now is the season of the pop-up, and everybody is selling, even including myself. We're selling and finding ways to sell our things and things like that around, but we sometimes lack that next step of taking it to the store. So I am so proud of this guy, and I had to brew him again this week because he's actually being in another store. So look out for RealiTEA at 7-Eleven, and if you don't see it at your 7-Eleven in your neighborhood, ask about it, and so maybe they will bring RealiTEA to your local 7-Eleven. So I know now, I know for sure it's on Pennsylvania Avenue, and the new location that he was just advertising is in Forestville, Maryland. So shout out to you, good job, keep on moving, keep on pushing, and you guys to pay to say that for him. Eb Deceleb came with some moves today, so I'm gonna brew her, but we're not gonna tell all her business right now. Not gonna tell all her business, but the kid is working. We work good. Okay, so that is definitely a thing. I do have to shout out to Rode. Actually, Rode, the competition that was doing, it was an audio competition for Rode that DMV Raps actually entered. We did not win for that, but Rode actually sent a gift. So shout out to Rode, because today's audio is actually being recorded on a lavalier from Rode, and that means we get to brew tea or sip tea to show, because now we actually upload this audio as a podcast. A podcast! Yes, so you guys stay tuned. We are going to be doing some big things coming really, really soon. I'm so excited. And yeah, so sometimes you gotta brew your own thing too, you know? Okay.
All right. Well,
are you with me, sis?
I am.
All right.
All right. Still doing that diet. Well, I want him to keep doing his thing, you know, and everybody definitely taking page from his book. And you know, it's great to have a story. You know, when he said he sold it out of his car, but he had a plan, he had a destination. So it's great when you put into place the plan in motion. So awesome, great job for him. Looking forward to. I got to get more of that tea. I got to figure out exactly where it's located, you know, so I can actually get some more of that tea. And guess what? I could actually purchase that tea, because I ain't gonna ask him for no free tea, because he had to get that for tea.
Okay.
So I'm gonna purchase that.
And it's comparably priced, just like your other energy drinks. You will pay that $3 to $4, honey. Okay. Okay.
So with that being said, we're gonna get right into tea time. And tea time, obviously, part of the show is where we talk about what's going on in the world today. And from week to week, we never ever not have something to talk about, because there's always something going on. And that is the great thing about that's the great thing about this thing we call the US of A. There's always something going on to keep your minds going or whatever. So
I don't know where they're going, but they're going.
So keep you entertained. That's what I was looking for. There's always something to keep you entertained
or distracted.
Because I do find myself having on Instagram. I go to sleep. What's going on Instagram? I'm supposed to be talking to class. I'm on Instagram. So looking at stuff. So, it does distract you here and there. But I definitely want to talk about, obviously, things that has been to talk about for the last couple of weeks now. And we haven't really gotten into it. But now I think everything's kind of hit the fan. Everything surfaced itself out and it revealed itself as Wendy Williams. And what she's going through. And my heart actually goes out to her because at the end of the day, she's still a woman, she's still a human. It is her job to be who she is, but that doesn't mean she has to go through what she's going through right now. Nobody has to go through that. So, my heart goes out to her and what she's facing right now. She has filed divorce. I definitely say kudos to you, girl. Do your thing, claim your life back. It goes back, quote, she's a CEO. She's making lots of money. She's doing everything else. But she also has to remember she's the CEO of her own life. And right now, from what, quote, you have with people in your life, then promote, demote, or terminate. She's terminating. And she done fired her husband. Now, he's now, the mistress did have a baby, but it's now come out that she was very aware of the mistress, but she was always just don't get her pregnant. Right. And so when she got her pregnant, it's like, now you fucking up the church's money. I got an issue with that though. Like, that's ridiculous to me. But I mean, it's ridiculous to think that somebody is not going to. Come on, guys. We need to stop thinking that when you put your penis in somebody, they might. There's always the chance. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But I think though. Exactly. I would never, James said, why would you settle? I would never settle for that, regardless of what type of plans you put in motion or whatever you guys are putting in motion. I would just never, ever settle for that. But, obviously with something in their arrangement that they say protection, there's always go get on protection. There's always you use protection. There's always ways to avoid that type of thing. Supposedly happening. But at the end of the day, to something else that, came out, he actually bought a Ferrari with her money. Yeah. And so she took it right back. And that was another thing. Like, he just he was doing anything for Nikki, anything that Nikki, he was doing anything for her. And, there comes a boundary. If you do want to live this life, don't put the mistress before money. Right. Because the mistress bringing you no money. She was an Instagram model. She's not anymore. You know what I'm saying? And so people, sometimes we lose sight, but if that was their thing, that was their thing. However, it's always bound to get out of hand. And I think that if you promote being a power woman, but you settle for this man. James on YouTube says you promote being a powerful woman. My heart goes out to because a woman, this is what happens. This is what we do. And we need to get to the point where we have these conversations, be real with each other, and stop doing it. Because the fact of the matter is, sometimes Wendy could be a bully. She did go after other people for the truth. So now people are going after her for the truth. And now it's coming out that, yes, you are a powerful woman, but you also accept the same bullshit in your life how you doing about other people in their life. So that is. But in the realm of being a powerful woman, she still she still had her own insecurities. Absolutely. So I think those insecurities probably thrive from what Kevin was doing as far as being with a younger woman, a skinnier woman, a shorter woman. So she still had her insecurities as far as that. And that I only question myself too, because they've been together 29 years or 27 years, whatever it was. When she was battling with these different things, now we ask ourselves, does this have something to do with it? How did she go so far? I don't think that you can ever have anything like that happen to you. If you are in love with somebody and you're in this relationship and things like that, and they choose someone else, this is why I'm not a fan of cheating, because no matter what you do, the other person is always going to internalize it as something was wrong with them.
And that's why. And it does not, that's not, you know, it really doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means that that person wanted to go do something. And that's what they did. But you can't help but internalize it and say that something had to be wrong with me for this to happen. And I'm sure that that played a part. But I think as women, we need to get to the point.
We have to be stronger.
We have to be stronger.
We gotta be stronger. We gotta realize we have power.
Believe.
And I think that's what happened.
And that's why that quote, again, get back to who you were before somebody started fucking with you, because you have to really, really backtrack and heal yourself before you can actually get to the point where you, I mean, we all say we love ourselves, and we do love ourselves, but let's just be real. Self-doubt creeps in. Most of us fight self-doubt actively every day. You know what I'm saying? Every day. So for this to happen to her, of course, you know, it's not even like a super surprise, but
because everybody knew, we all knew. Every Tasha K said it a long time ago, so everybody knew what was going on. She knew what was going on. She hid it for as long as she could. It came out,
but the settling, and then if you are that type of person who she is, and being that vocal about everybody else and everybody's business and what everybody should do and shouldn't do. And I know that that's her platform, and I know that that is how it is, and that's who she's supposed to be and everything. But that's the double-edged sword of that is now, just like when you do this and they say you got 4 fingers pointing back at you, while she was doing this to everybody else and saying what they need, she was living a whole fucking lie. So it happens. This is, I mean, we do it. You know, women get abused a lot all the time, and then they still go out in the world and pretend like, oh no, don't let nobody do this to you. We are all guilty of letting someone do something that they should not have been doing to us at one time or another in our lives. And hopefully we all learn our lessons from it, you know, at one point or another. But she did make that power move.
She did. I mean, she definitely did.
Now she's like, stay the fuck away from me.
And she said for sure, she's prepared. She's getting out of the sober house. I believe she said that today.
Yeah.
She's actually leaving the sober house. I think it's this week or whatever. It's coming up. And she said she's preparing her life for her and Kevin, her son. And I think that's the best thing for her right now, is because she just needs to stay away from that. But what really shocked the fuck out of me is everybody was always talking about him being on the down low. But when I heard about Avion, the singer, how they were having sex, and Avion went ahead and outed him, you know, and that adds a whole nother element to it. You know what I'm saying? And it just makes you wonder, like, it makes you be so just express everything and just really paint a strong picture of what was going on and how this man really operated. It made you think about, what have this world come to? Like, what are we doing? What are we allowing? Why are we doing this? Why do we feel comfortable doing these type of things? Like, where are our real men who, you know, there's a lot of them out there. Why are we allowing ourselves, like what he was saying about how, you know, when the first time they had sex, you know, Wendy Williams and him, when this is what he's saying coming from his mouth, they had sex, and how he vividly was painting the picture, how he said nobody would want him, nobody would sign him. I'm the only one that's going to sign, how he might, if it's true or not. But then it turned so much into it. Seemed like when I was listening, he started really not liking it, but being comfortable with it. You know, how do you be comfortable with something you really are not? How do you be comfortable with that if that's really not who you are? Or if, be honest, is that who you are? Understand what I'm saying? Like, when he was going into detail, and I don't, you know, you guys need to really go watch that video because it was very detailed oriented. He was given basically what they went through. You know, when the first time they had sex, and when he came into his house and he pulled the sheets off because he sleeps naked. And when he pulled the sheets off and he went inside him, and he came in 30 seconds because he had an adrenaline rush. It's like he went in and in and in. It's like with a grown whole wife sitting next to you eating grapes.
She was like, he does sleep naked.
He does sleep naked.
He do sleep naked or whatever.
Question for you. Could you be, I mean, if you were in a heterosexual relationship and you knew that your heterosexual male dominant man who's fucking you every night, every chance he gets, is also having sex with a man openly? Question.
That's not even a question. Like, I don't even know. Like, so
Would
many
you be
things
eating
went
grapes?
wrong right there. So,
Would you be eating grapes, or-
no, I sit on Tasha K together and talk about how. No, I don't know. I just, first of all, not me, not Keleeba, not GemDTwin, not Shami, because I just can't. I can't. And I understand she said that they were friends first, and you know, this, that, and the other, and that's amazing. That's great. Yeah, that is great for you to each their own, and I get it. But again, personal with the delivery, I mean,
because the way he was saying it, how they gave each other fellatio. And I don't know if I can say,
I mean, but then, you know, it's some wild, like the more, okay, first of all, everybody's sexual preference is different. We don't know whatever else.
Is it Surviving Kevin?
Maybe she was over there, Kevin, yeah. But she could have been having her own little thought over there.
Into that type of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. She could get off of it. She could be super happy that her man takes it in the butt. She could assist him with a finger or two.
That might be her thing.
That might, I leave sex to whoever's having the sex. It's really not for me to be in your business, because y'all not in my bedroom either. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere on some planet, somebody is looking down on what you do in the room. You see what I'm saying? It's just,
they might find it weird that I enjoy.
Absolutely.
They get another pussy.
There you go. Okay. Somewhere what you're doing is completely and totally weird and wrong. So we can't say nothing, but I'm just saying, sis, okay, while he is talking about the most graphic stuff, I mean, you popping grapes. Maybe she should have had some chocolate covered strawberries or something instead of the grapes. Like, he was like,
I mean, because the way she was,
and then the thing about it, the way she was eating the grapes, she was eating like,
and I felt like it was from the never ending bowl, because
the grapes kept showing up
throughout the entire hour and 18 minutes of that show.
They probably kept slipping grapes up there, because there's no way you still had grapes. But she was feeding herself like she was.
But I don't know. I just think that, so with everything, it's like, Wendy,
this is your man.
This is your man.
This is your man. And also, what do you know? What don't you know? What did you speculate? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, with you. Because
that's what I'm saying.
There's also a thing too where you feel completely totally in love with someone, and then you found out that shit.
Love.
And
like,
then
everybody going, I love her because she just tells the truth. And right now, I respect the fact that she's now speaking her own truth. And she is now.
I don't respect that shit.
Why?
Because
she could just ignore it and keep talking about other folks' shit.
No, because now her shit is coming out. Now her shit is right in your face. That's why I think it's time to talk about it, because there's no way to stop it. There's no way to stop it, because now everyone knows. Prior to all the business being out there, it was very hush-hush. Yes, she's been vocal, and they have this little organization for, you know, drug usage, blah, blah. Yes, they've been vocal about that, but all of this other stuff, you know, maybe she's being strategic, but again, by her being,
I guess because it was gonna come out, she was like, let me tell it my way. Let me get in my point of view.
Now you need to make a power move, because for years, first of all, there's been speculation that Kevin was beating your ass. Yeah. There's been speculation there was the gay-ishness. There was the mistress, and now we're not gonna say nothing. But now that this bitch got pregnant, there's gonna be a whole baby. Some newscaster can do a DNA test. You driving around in this. Kevin got his messy ass out there.
But I wonder though, is that why he married Kevin? Because you know, people also identified in the.
I literally just saw that.
Beautiful, and so unfortunately, you get that like, you know, what did your quote say? You know, go back to
who you were before people started fucking with you. Exactly. Okay.
But maybe because people used to say she would look like a tranny, so maybe you remember that.
Yes, and maybe she just.
So maybe he felt. Maybe he liked that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You got crazy out there on the.
But I can't even do that to you. See, that's the kind of person I am. I'm nice enough to be like, you know, I'm not gonna say anything with you because he's gay and you look like a man. I'm not gonna do that, because that is not nice, and I don't think that we should do women that way.
No, I guess.
I'm not doing it. I'm not going to say that now that you have had your surgeries, You have become more pleased to him
because you're
of his sexual preference.
Your jawline.
Because now he gets the best of both worlds. He gets his little girlfriend over here that's woman, and then he gets you that's the train. No, I'm not going to say that. And then he gets the man. We're not going to fucking talk about that because that's probably also one reason she stuck around. She's feeling away because the entire world is coming out talking about Wendell Williams. Guilty. My ass been guilty. I don't say Wendell before. You call her Wendell? When we joke. I know I said it before, and I'm sorry.
You called her Wendell?
I don't say Wendell Williams because other people said it, and see that's not right. I'm sorry. I thought it was funny, and it's not funny.
That ain't funny.
We need to talk about how that's not funny.
That's not funny.
We need to do better as a people.
Oh my God, that's not funny.
I ain't make the shit up, but I definitely said it once or twice. So. And just because, you know, I mean,
you were following the trend. I get it.
Yeah, that's not cool though. That's not cool. But yeah, so you check out the interview. You know what I'm saying? Avion had a lot to say.
Yeah, I mean, y'all have to just go check out that.
It was very graphic.
That shit was like I don't even know if I would want to interview him because I would just be like, what?
Oh no, but Tasha got she was very okay. Mm-hmm. And so
she was like this, and he sticked his finger in your rectum, and then you began to squeeze, suck, and move.
Okay. So is that how it went? Is that how it went?
It would be just too much. Is that what? Oh yes. And so now moving on to the next part of the show. Also to
grapes.
Tiger Woods. Congratulations
to Tiger.
We don't have all the sound effects that you have on your other show, but
we gotta get hands. You gotta hook us up with some sound effects so we can clap our hands. So
we can clap our hands.
Round of applause for Tiger.
Yeah, because he actually, really shout out to him. He's definitely will see a lot of heat in the past, on his personal life as well as, he hasn't yet gotten into experience like that, so his game wasn't what his game used to be. Mm-hmm. But he actually just finally won, and he's back on top, and really he won another jacket and everything like that. So definitely want to shout him out.
Okay.
For that.
For brewing your tea, Tiger.
Definitely. Even though he's married to a white woman, but that's okay.
That's okay.
That's all right. And bald on the top, that's still okay. That's all right. As long as you get it before you. You did.
Yeah.
He did that. But no, definitely shout out to him. And then also, I was going to ask this question. Do you follow the people, like your celebrity people?
What celebrity people?
Any people that you really love. Do you follow them?
Some of them. I follow a couple people, but I really don't even get to check and be super followy because there's way too much going on. Seriously.
So me and my girlfriend were talking the other day, and we were she was telling me, she was like, she doesn't want to, she misses the time where she could just know her celebrity for who they wanted us to know them as.
Yeah.
She misses the time where she didn't have, social media just all in their lives. She doesn't care about what Kanye West is doing.
Yeah.
She just cares about he made great music. Mm-hmm. But we lose respect for people. Our
with
people
scandals
who follow,
and with this.
Because we follow the scandals more than we follow the type.
Because now you know too much.
The talent.
Now you know too much.
She was just like, do you miss the times where we didn't know everything?
One thing I would say, I do miss it a little bit, but at the same time I don't, because number one, I'm glad that people are finally realizing that these are just people. Okay, they're people who actually got an opportunity, making money, doing this, doing that. Okay, I get it, but at the same time, I don't miss it because some of the scandals that have come out, I feel like, me personally, I'm the type of person I want to support. Me personally, I like to support who I believe in. I like to swim, but when I find out you having little girls, I don't want to listen. I kind of want to not do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? I kind of want to not pad your pocket.
Me personally, I want to know. I just want to know you for who I know you for and keep it moving. That's just it. That's the soul. I don't want to get involved.
I mean, I guess it depends on when I start spending my money, because I don't want my money being spent within body. Because seriously, I work hard for my money, and I don't think every motherfucking body deserves it. Seriously. And then, it's just certain things I want to support. You know what I'm saying? Just You know how PETA does? Like, PETA, you know a PETA. Dog people, you know. PETA, the people that support the dogs and the animals that love everything. Girl, I'm surprised. She's a dog mom, so I thought you knew about PETA.
I don't know about PETA.
But PETA, PETA, they will come after that ass if they think it's some kind of animal cruelty going on. They will bust your ass down.
Look, I don't even know about PETA.
They will bust your ass. They will bust your ass.
PETA.
Yeah. They will bust you down. But it's just like, I'm not like PETA, but I'm just saying, like, I want to know when your shit stinks. Not in a regular way. But if you doing some foul ass shit, I want to know. Do you sell great cosmetics but your body in your basement? I'm gonna not do that.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I don't want to know anything. I love LMA. And I don't want to know.
You don't want to. Please don't want to know anything.
Because I don't want to have a reason not to like her. You feel me?
Absolutely.
I understand
because you love her. And
I love her. Like Kenya Moore. I love her, but it's getting hard. It was hard for a little bit because they was throwing too much out there.
Girl,
so it was like,
when she trying to windmill her man and showing. Yeah. But then reality TV shows, let's be real here, people.
Like
I don't even feel like that's the real person. I don't know who is showing up on them television shows. But yeah, so we can't really say, okay, yes, PETA, people for the ethical treatment of animals, you know.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
James, that's why I love you, James.
Yes.
Your research on
Give us the information. I know PETA, but I can't tell you what it all stood for. I just know. For PETA.
Well, I don't want to know PETA.
Don't let PETA come after you. She a dog trainer. Okay.
The way you said, you were like, you don't know PETA. I'm like, no, I don't
You don't know.
Who's PETA?
PETA will take your ass down.
Look,
James, won't PETA take your ass down? PETA does not play.
Why in my mind, I'm thinking you talk about LaPETA actors. I was like,
she will take that ass down with a spear.
Wait a minute. But no, you guys, but shout out to Tiger Woods. And then also too, you know what too that is going on? And I'm gonna put this whole shit up for the Shits Award because a lot of people are talking about it. How because you know Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle. You know, I'm really still sad. I did find out though that his day is August 15th, 1985. So it explains why he's such a dynamic person because he is that of a Leo. I should have known that's why he was so dynamic. So make sure the people come out when I die as well. Make sure when you do my funeral, you invite the whole DMV.
Oh, we're gonna do a street and everything.
Get me a street.
Okay. Y'all, we taking donations now. We taking donations now.
Exactly. But no, you know, they was talking about I was gonna say one thing, I'm gonna say another thing though, because you know that Black, you know, he was going off on a frenzy. Or whatever, you know, talking about Lauren, you know, Lauren London, not letting the man rest in peace or whatever before he tried to go and bang his, you know, his widowed ex-girlfriend. Mm-hmm. But they were saying though, people were putting up, and this is real shit. But I had two ways of thinking about it. People were saying how the fact that his people, certain endorsers sponsoring him, and how he, I didn't even know he had $700 million, but whatever, where did he get the money from? Mm. But how his earnings went down incredibly because nobody was sponsoring him because of what he was saying about, you know, Nipsey and this and that. And Tim Morey, one of the sisters from Sister, you know, Timor. She had posted something. Actually, I think I reposted it on page. I was gonna repost it. How it's so crazy how real quick just drop him. But when we have things like blackface or Gucci or Prada,
wear that shit.
Exactly.
But you know what? Sometimes it's your fucking mouth.
But
like okay, it's a picture.
Fuck your mouth. Fine. He said what he said, and he was wrong. But they did what they did. They did what they're doing, and we're still supporting till this day. Mm-hmm. Are we wrong?
Yeah, we're wrong.
We're always wrong. Why do we find why can we so quickly support this black man because he's saying this craziness about another black man, but yet we can keep promoting wearing a clothing line or
but you know what?
Like this shit.
Give America 5 minutes and they will be over it. Okay, they're gonna stop supporting you now, and then as soon as you do something that they like, we'll be back.
They're back on the bandwagon.
People in general are very fickle. You can do something to. I mean, that's the one thing. It's the bad thing and it's the good thing. One minute we'll take your ass down.
Because some person did say that's what I want to say. Before you get into it, they said because we can afford to stream them, we can afford to stream his music. We can't afford to buy products.
Okay, knockoffs. That's still. I mean, and now you can afford not to stream his music. I mean, I think that people, decide when they go on, like, take their little stand. When they're going to do that. Okay, so fine. I can take a stand. I just won't buy his shit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's your personal way of saying I can sock it to somebody with my little self. Because in the grand scheme of things, I am this little. To most people, they're like, I'm this little. Prada won't care. Gucci won't care. None of these brands will, because I'm this big to them. Care. I probably was already not buying their shit, not the real shit, just the knockoffs anyway. So they won't care. But what I do is not stream this motherfucker shit, and then that way he loses. I'm gonna show you I don't like you because you counting my every little whatever. So, but again, 5 minutes, guys.
And that's what my girlfriend said too. She was like, if you liked his music before he said that, his music changed. Just for Kanye,
his music didn't do it.
His technically, like, excuse me, when Kanye went on his whole little rant about Trump. If you like Kanye's music before he went on this trip, his music didn't change. His opinion changed.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Like, granted, it was kind of out the wall. I mean, but still.
But did you know that he was off the wall? Whack? You just didn't. You didn't get an opportunity to. But that is our thing, though. This day and age. They're giving us an opportunity to blast our mouth off and say whatever the hell we want to say. Okay. So now you can say whatever you want to say it publicly. And now you're going to be held accountable for it. So deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even as a celebrity, you think, okay, let's say this, because somebody said something about Beyonce in the I'm not even going to talk about how Beyonce dropped that record. I'm not going to talk about all of this other stuff. The Beehive already know. Y'all already know Beyonce's every move as it pertains to her music. But do you see Beyonce making little statements? People who's really doing the shit don't have time for the little shit. That's what I'm saying, small ass conversations. Kodak Black, you want to go on here. He's having this little conversation. Mm-hmm. You got a video fucking tape. Okay. And then the song that has Beyonce's name in, and it says, yeah, you're going to sound a fucking non-disclosure. Because if you just so happen to be close to me when I'm saying something crazy out my motherfucking mouth, I don't want to hear it repeated everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like I think a couple weeks ago, well, we constantly talk about the fact that you'd be like, I can't be my authentic self with everyone. Mm-hmm. You can be your authentic self with your friends, because naturally with your friends and your core group, there's expectation of privacy. Mm-hmm. When you go blasting your shit out on social media for the rest of the world, there's no expectation of privacy. You just blew that out of the water. Mm-hmm. He could have said all of that shit to his friends and it never would have seen the light of day, but he chose to do this shit. It wouldn't have been a conversation that y'all had.
It wouldn't have gotten him any
notoriety either way. Either way.
Yeah, exactly. So he did what he thought he had to do. He did what he wanted to do.
But I tell you,
talking about him.
That's what I was just about to say. We were talking about it for 2 weeks at least.
He was like, "Let me tell you, he saw opportunity, he took it, and he did what he had to do."
Relevant. Okay, so
he got what he was trying to.
Just when we think somebody fucked up, they show us the ways that maybe they didn't. You know what I mean? Because you actually have people talking about you for quite some time,
exactly, for whatever reason it was, people were talking about him. But then that goes back to when
my collar was all jacked up. So
are you not looking at the same camera I'm looking at?
You ain't care. I see.
But no. And then it also goes back to like when what's the name? Reggie Bush had that GoFundMe account. I don't know if you heard about that when he did GoFundMe for Nipsey's kids, and then Karen Civil came. Yeah, he did the GoFundMe for Nipsey's kids for $100,000 or something like that. He got a lot of flack from that because people were saying that Lauren didn't advise him to do that. and this and that. And then Karen Civil came up saying, you know, please refrain from trying. This is not something that the family has set up, and blah, 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 blah. And then Reggie Bush came back saying that, hey, I was just trying to do this for them. I don't need the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm Reggie Bush, blah, blah, blah. But my thing is, and then people were saying in the comments, you doing this for rich kids that's already rich.
Right. Stop doing
shit. Set up a GoFundMe for me. Eb Deceleb needs a coin or two. SipsTea the show. Clearly, we don't got no effects. We need some clapping.
We need some clapping. We need some shit. You know, do a damn GoFundMe.
Shit.
What she said. Exactly. Exactamente.
We got some shit you can fund.
Right? Okay. But I got a project list for that ass. And
exactly.
you want to just see exactly what we need you to fund. I mean, hey now. Oh, let's say a big hello to everybody tuning into SipsTea the show tonight. You're watching SipsTea the show. We thank you so much for tuning in. Hello, guys on YouTube. It is so good to see you here, especially because we really, really want people to tune in on YouTube and join the collaboration here so we can actually have this talk, because we can actually see your comments and everything. So shout out to everybody for joining in tonight. But
I just think, I mean, I don't want, let's not lose sight of what has happened. Like Nipsey Hussle, you know, he's definitely uniting communities. Positive. He's doing a lot of positive things in life as well as in death. And that's an amazing thing. He's a Leo. So, of course, he's going to do an amazing thing. But don't exploit that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is my point.
Absolutely.
Don't exploit it. And when you go, like, even when, we didn't get to talk about it because it was Thursday, the funeral and stuff like that. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it. Like, people, you know what I'm saying? That was like heartfelt. Like, I really felt it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my God, you know. But don't exploit what it is. Like, I don't know if you heard Lauren London, when she got up there and she, you know, she finally said something, you know, she said, I had to write something. And so she read a letter that she had written him January 21st or something like that. But then she wrote something to the love of her life. Like, that was like, people are truly hurting. Yeah. And so in that respect, it's like Kodak Black, chill out. Right. But my thing is, when we to talk about that to his fire, and it keeps him going. Mm-hmm. But if everybody ignores the ignorance, he don't have nothing else to talk about. Because nobody now is entertaining the ignorance. We're ignorant for entertaining the ignorance. You understand what I'm saying? We have more things to entertain. And then when, I don't know if you even heard the speech when his brother got up there, Sam, his older brother, people were so worried. It was just so crazy to me how people can lose sight of what the message was. People like saying, you know, Sam and him, you know, did they have the same dad? And like really going in on it. Like, who the fuck? Right. Or even when his mom, because his mom, like, you know, she has a really, she is very spiritual. Mm-hmm. And she has an African about her, some of the things she does. But she's been heavily into religion. And so she was like, doing certain things at the funeral, and people was like, you know, she's in denial and this and that, because she was saying like his soul, she knew that he wouldn't be here long. Mm-hmm. Like, she was saying things that her spiritual guidance led her to say. Right. But a lot of people were taking that to the fact taking it to the negative. Yeah, because they were like, okay, she knew he wasn't going to be here long because but they were talking about the gang activity and like this, that, and the other. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I just want, if we're gonna have something positive, just let's let it be positive. Let it be positive. Stop trying to find the negative. Everything. Absolutely. Let's let it be. Let it be. Because guess what? People are really hurting. His kids are really hurting. Absolutely. His brother. I mean, but let's be real here. Whenever we lose somebody, when we lose some, we can break it down to the very simple form. Whenever a family loses someone, okay, now we can say that we have felt this as a nation, as a community, as a whatever, but whenever someone loses someone, it's proper etiquette. It is not cute for you to speak ill of that situation. No. We don't go to funerals and talk shit, even some people do. Let's be clear. Mm-hmm. That is what happens, but it's in bad taste. Yeah. It's in bad taste. Respect. A little respect. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If y'all want to say some shit like that, just wait. Like, give it a moment. Like, give it a moment. Give people a moment. Say it in your own private time. You don't need to say it on the live, and because don't nobody give a fuck. No, and then give people a time.
we have got to get to the point where we judge the climate a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If that's not the time and the place. You know what I'm saying? The climate of the climate of the world at this point, the climate of social media, the climate of the different states, the climate of people who are having memorials and things is a climate and a spirit of, hope and grief and all other stuff that people are trying to feel right now and about the situation. Please stop talking about who you want to push up on. Yeah, that's like in the middle of, you on social media in the middle of all your positive speeches, somebody send you a dick pic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The climate of this page says I'm not about that life. Why are you bringing that shit here? You know what I'm saying? Take it to another place. Like I just said, respect. Just respect. But some people don't respect themselves, and some people common sense ain't common. Let's just leave it at that.
We all know the whole thing was a setup anyway. Everybody, don't nobody believe that bullshit the government wants you to believe in. So everybody dealing with their own thing. Everybody dealing with their own shit. But guess what? To be honest, I'm not even prepared to talk about. Well, we already talked about the government and the conspiracy. Yeah, it's the whole conspiracy. It's just a lot. A lot of people dealing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know what it is. When his brother got up there, his brother, I respected his brother. His brother was holding that mic, because that was his He was holding on tight for life. To lose a brother, I'm telling you, that shit hurts. That shit hurts. It's a different type of hurt. I lost my brother. That shit is real. And then when you lose your brother to what they want you to believe, he just got shot to gun violence or whatever. Nah, and it's more to that shit. Mm-hmm. And you see, that's the whole nother hurt when the mystery hasn't been solved, right? And people playing with your intelligence, right? That's a whole nother type of hurt. But guess what? Hashtag the marathon continues. So we moving on to the next thing. That's the whole thing right now. All right. The marathon continues. Hashtag RIP Nip, and the marathon continues. We are definitely, our love and support goes out to the family and the friends. SipsTea, the showgirls. We love you. We're praying for your family. I do hope that you find true justice, because the justice is not with Eric Holder. The justice is with the United States government. So I hope you find true justice. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Moving right along. Y'all know when it gets political, I get crazy. We'll be going I'm heavily into the rest of the show. I don't like that bullshit. Come on now. That's some bullshit. Y'all know what it is. Everybody know what it is. That man ain't died. Eric Holden did not come and kill that man. Coincident, he went to a crazy house 2 weeks before, and then he goes to a crazy house, then he gets locked up. Then they put him in protective custody. Then they give him O.J. Simpson's old lawyer after giving him a bond of $7 million because you knew he couldn't get out. And then you lock up the guy that he was helping and say that because he was close to it. Man, cut the bullshit. Ain't nobody dumb. And that's all I'm going to say. So I'm not the law, but I hope they find true justice. You ain't the law. I hope they find true justice. I fought the law. But with that being said, I definitely want to get into the Shits Award. Just give it to somebody from this whole situation. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give it to the United States government, LAPD. We already gave them a shit. I ain't giving that award because we not with the shit. I feel like they already got the LAPD. I'm giving them They got the Shits Award already. All right, they got the Shits Award. Even though it's a Shits Award, it's not good. Still, I don't even want to give you two not goods because it's still an award at the end of the day. Give it okay. Because I was going to give it to the LAPD. But all right, well, let's give it to what y'all think? I give it to the LAPD. But who was the other one I said I was not with the shits? We could say Avion, graphic, your wife. Okay. I just don't know. The grapes. The endless grape. The endless grape bowl. Them jokes are scarier than seedless grapes. Just that you just had so many motherfucking grapes.
Like seriously, you guys can look, and I know that we are driving traffic to somebody else's YouTube channel, but like seriously, was it just an endless amount of grapes? Even
like, where the fuck did she get them guys? That bitch was just
how many pounds of grapes did you eat? Okay, well, whatever. But you know what you know. And then also, like, who else was over here? Wendy, Kevin, first of all. Kevin Hunter get the fucking Chips Award.
Yeah, I'm done. I forgot about Kevin.
I'm done.
Kevin, you all over the place.
I'm done.
But I heard that she settled to give him half. But you know what? Honestly, you know what? Just
sometimes if you give him the money and get out on face.
Yeah, just take it so I can go, because guess what? It's more where that came from.
And then give me my child. Give me half of a bag of child support. She might have just decided to cut his ass off because she wasn't about to be paying no child support for no illegitimate child. That's my. You know what? I'm not paying no child support because she's going to try to have some of my money.
Yeah,
not your little salary. She's going to try to have the part of it. This hour. She's not getting an hour. She's gonna get your damn divorce settlement. How about that?
But since that goes right into the question for infinity.
Oh no, the new taxes. You know what? We, in honor of you, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to give the shits award to the IRS because James said this he owed for the first time ever for these new tax laws.
Oh,
give shits to the new tax laws. For anybody out here who has been filing these taxes faithfully and got shafted in the shit that was going on right here. So yeah,
well, shit, I've been owing the IRS.
They get the shit award for that with this new tax shit that y'all got going on.
They do got some shit going on.
Thanks,
so thank you, James. You know what? Thanks for putting the IRS up for the tax, for the shit award.
But we need to, so
relationship question.
The relationship question. This is affinity, love and relationships and the ships of all kinds.
I think this should be the question to ask, and because of the fact that what's going on with Wendy and Kevin, should you get in a relationship? You give your answer and I'll get mine.
Okay, so it's kind of different for me to answer that because it's going to be like a two-part. Because several times I've been in a relationship. I mean, I've been in business. I was in a relationship, and I've been not in a business with someone I was in a relationship with. And I will say this on behalf of myself and Tamar.
Wendy, that's another one.
Tamar. I will say this.
Tamar.
It is difficult. This is not for the faint of heart. But if you work it out, if you can actually make it happen, you double win. Because when you are trying to build a business, like me personally, if I feel like 90% of my time is trying to get businesses off the ground, get GemDTwin, Keleeba, Juice by Gem, whatever. All of these entities that have to do with me and businesses to the next level. Okay. So in that, what's the time for my relationship? It helps me if I am dealing with someone and at this point I'm in a relationship where, the person that I'm in a relationship with, we share those common interests, and it makes it a little bit easier to be in that relationship because neither one of us have too much time. So in that respect, yes. Now 5-10 years now coming on the pipe, I don't know. And those things always present rocky ass situations. Because am I mad at you on a business sense, or am I mad at you in a relationship sense? Now, being a Gemini, I'm very much so. It's one thing. I don't know. Y'all let me know if there's any Geminis out there as well. Let me know if this is true of all Geminis or just myself. I'm a compartmentalize. Like, I will compartmentalize a whole lot of shit. I can be mad at Eb Deceleb. We are business partners, okay? But we have a besides being business partners, we have a ship. So we have a relationship as well. Now, if I'm mad at you on the business front, I'm not mad at you on the friend front because I compartmentalize. And most people can't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I'm mad at you, I'm mad at you. And I'm this salty ass thing to another level because I'm mad at you all around. So my answer is, it's great if it works out, and it's fucking ugly as shit if it doesn't.
For me, it's being so for me on my end, I like for the person who I'm dating to, I have to say it like this, like I enjoy the time where I want them to believe in what I'm doing and support in what I'm doing.
Let's stay the fuck out.
But I'm going to be honest with you because of the fact that I need to have that time away from when I'm not focused on the business.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be in a relationship. Now, granted, I want you to support everything I'm doing. I'm going to support everything you're doing. And it might become in the future where a long way down the road, hey, we might do real estate and then you're doing real estate and then, hey, well, let's compare whatever. But when it comes into something like that might happen, personally, I don't want it to because of the fact that I want to be able to focus in. I want the support from you and the love from you. But when I don't want to talk about the business, I don't want to talk about the business.
Yeah.
I want to be able to, because you need that. You know, for me, I need to have that time away from, I don't want to talk about it. I'm trying to do 24/7.
Right.
I want to talk about the sky is blue. And I want to be able to talk about that with you.
Yeah.
I don't want everything back to the business.
I do think if it is a business relationship, you guys really have you have to work extra hard to have
a social
relationship.
Life. Yeah,
like,
you have to have a social
what is the
life.
relationship and then what is the business? You know, so I think it personally goes so many different ways. Like it depends on how it's unfolding from one moment to the next.
Because what
balance, exactly. That's a great word, balance.
Because it can easily happen too at times. Like I said, balance. Yes, there you go, balance. Because what can easily happen too at times is you're so focused in, like our relationship would have to be damn strong.
Yes, absolutely.
It have to be damn strong for me to want to get into a business relationship with you because of the fact that you get so caught up into trying to get this business that you lose sight of the relationship.
But then also
you put the relationship up for, you'll put your relationship up for questioning, then you'll find yourself not wanting to be in a relationship. You know, a person like me, if I know that every time I'm gonna call you on the phone, we're gonna talk about business, I'm not gonna call you as much because I don't want to talk to you about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're gonna blow the fuck out of me because I'm not calling to hear about what we need to do for this business. I'm calling to see how's your day. I want you to.
Here's another thought though, guys. If you are in a relationship and you are trying to build businesses, okay, especially as time passes, and we all know, and maybe this is a good question for James because you are a photographer, and you have some businesses, things that you are running as well, and you're married. And it's one thing to be able to compartmentalize things, but I think that after a certain amount of time, me personally, I know that I've wasted a lot of time in my life on just relationships. Like having a relationship, doing this for the relationship, trying to nurture a relationship. And what happens when I'm focused on the relationship? I'm losing my businesses. So I'm giving 100% to this thing. Now, if I want to have you, I want to have you as a relationship. I want to have you as a relationship in 10, 20 years. Okay. So if I can tell you that you are my 5, 10, 15 year plan, that's what you are. In the middle, I need to build this business. Because I got to say, if I was a girlfriend on the other side of me, and I just was like trying to get where I fit in, where I'm working on your business, I'm not sticking around because you don't have time for me. And because at certain points in your business, that is your major function. Like it depends on how hard you're going at your business because even you eat, sleep, and shit your shit. You just do, because first we got this day job. We got to go ahead and make this money over here. And then after the day job comes 10 hours that you're still putting into your own personal business, then guess what? That's a baby that needs your time too. So it's really, really hard. And you do have to,
what she said,
you got to find that balance. But how to balance? Okay. So for me, if I'm sitting at a dinner,
I'm going to be honest.
It's just, I like to have fun.
I want to sit there and talk about.
But you know what? That's called boundaries too.
Yeah,
you got to say, look, if we're doing this, let's not do that. Let's not talk about it. If it's Sunday and we're gonna go to church, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it probably is good. I think it's possible, but you got to set those boundaries and you got to stick to them. And people have to be receptive to that.
Yeah, you did.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's also some
respect,
restraint and respect. Restraint. Because even me, I know there are certain times when I want to talk about something. Like if I want to talk about it, I want to talk about it, and that's in a business, that's with my girlfriend, that's with one of my best friends, is it the time right now?
Yeah.
Let's table that. And if you want to discuss it, we need to write it down because now's not the time. Why? Because it may not be good for our business to talk about it right now. Not because, so it takes a lot of restraint and it is a lot of balance. And I think it's possible. I just think it is heavy. It's super heavy.
As an element, like, right.
So James says, James on YouTube says that he and his wife have a date night and they work together to find time for each other. And that's the thing. You gotta find the time. Like if you really are committed to having that relationship and making sure it flirt. James, tell me this though. You feel like you have to revisit that aspect, consistently, like how you're making time for each other. That's something that's just in stone, and so it's always there. Or do you have to we have date night, so whatever. But do you feel like you have to revisit that? Like, okay, we have date night, but I feel like we're still not, getting the time in that we need.
So for me, because that's what me and my girlfriend do. Like, because I do have a lot of things going on, and she's super supportive of me, of everything that I'm doing. She's super supportive of me, and she's not trying. She's like giving her. She supports everything that I'm doing, and that also took work, But we have those days that we actually just focus in on each other because she has her job, I have my job, I have my business, I have my things going on. She's doing her thing. But we have those days that we have 2 days a week that we just spend on each other. And within those 2 days, we also take the time to say to each other, what could we be doing better? And then throughout the week, we do something different for each other throughout the week. So we take the time, but in our 2 date nights, if we just sitting here talking about her job, because we talk about each other's job throughout the week. Yeah. She talks about the show throughout the week. Yeah. But those days that we have focused in on us, our 2 days that we're focusing on us has nothing to do with the business. It has how do we make our relationship flourish? Yeah. What can we do? Because people get so caught up into my business. We gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta do this. Well, what we gonna do for each other? Yeah. At the end of the day, if you guys go your separate ways, and all you have is this business tying together. Like if you just had the business, you get what I'm saying? Like you want to have more than just a business tying. You do
want to have more than just a business. But I've seen like worse things break you up. So he says that his wife will tell him if they need to take a break and spend more time on each other. Communication. Yeah. And I think if you go extra hard on your businesses and things like that, but you can have that open space to say, hey, I need you right now. Yeah. And I think, I don't need you guys. You guys, like, you guys have been married for quite some time. Yeah. And so I think that you already know that that's what you're going to do because we're married. Yeah. I think a lot of relationships, you're not even sure. It's still a teeter-totter of will we, won't we. Yeah. And so there's still this gray area of you might not be here in 5-10 years. And so I bet you might at the same time. When you're already married and you're committed to your marriage, you've already decided this is our commitment, and you already know for sure this is my thing. You my main thing. This is our business, and that's something separate.
Here's another question though: when is it the right time to get into business with the partner? If I was to get into a business with my girlfriend now, first of all, I'm not getting into no business with no girlfriend. That's just not going.
Okay, so you need a title first.
No.
I mean, you need a marriage.
I need a legal document. Mm-hmm. I'm not getting into no damn business with no damn.
But what does that legal document do?
What? We got married.
But what does that legal document do?
Because I'm at least.
I tell y'all, I have always felt like a legal document does nothing that we don't already do for ourselves. So if you
a legal document, whether
it just means it's going to be harder to get fucking rid of me. That's all that means. It means we don't have to pay.
A legal document means you're more committed to what.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Why? Because it's a legal document.
No, well, a marriage. Fuck the document. A marriage.
Okay, true or false?
A marriage.
A marriage is the legal document for
Fuck
a
the
marriage.
Document.
Don't forget, back in the day, there was no legal document. Back in the day, when we got married, there was no legal document.
What day?
Back in the day, when slave days and all of those days,
that's a different time.
That's a different time. But what I'm trying to say is the legal document does not create.
I'm not saying fuck the legal document. Married, okay. ain't getting in no business, no fucking girlfriend. Never in a fucking day.
I mean, that's a good thing, but just know that if something's going to happen as a girlfriend, it will happen as a marriage. It's just going to be harder for you to get out of it.
We have to be, I'm not buying no house with no fucking girlfriend.
I can tell.
No.
But then with the house, you still got a document. Both of y'all names on it. You still. Exactly. Back in the day, you used to jump the broom because you used to come to a meeting of the mind and say, "This, you are who I'm committed to." Period. Point blank.
That's what I'm talking about. A commitment, a marriage, something like. I'm not getting no motherfucking shit with no fucking
James.
girlfriend.
Is this? You let me know. Does the commitment come before the marriage, or does the marriage bring the commitment?
What?
Does the commitment come before the marriage, or does the marriage bring the commitment? You already got the commitment.
Comes before the marriage.
Absolutely.
To get married,
so before you were married, you got the commitment.
I'm not getting no business with no fucking girl.
All I'm saying is, no. As a matter of fact, I really kind of feel like at times a marriage is a business relationship. It is about contracts, and it's about expectations and all this other stuff. So if you're entering into a marriage, it's business contract. Like you guys are deciding, these are my expectations. This is. You are my main thing, and 100%. And everybody's contract and every relationship means something different to them.
And marriage is a business, so I will say that.
So I mean, I just,
I ain't got to buy no business or do none of that shit with no girl. I'm not putting in all that work for somebody that says that I don't know is going to be here. Well, at least I have a little bit more secure.
Why does that piece of paper make you more secure?
Fuck the paper.
Why does the marriage make you more secure than a relationship with the person that you are married? Okay, so we're going to get married. We're moving towards the altar, correct? If you're going to move towards the altar, so you guys have been together, is it a length of time? What makes that person? Is it because you got married? Now their word is bond, or
no, your word is, I don't trust no fucking body. So your word ain't never fucking bond when it comes to my life. You can always fuck me over.
So what's the difference if you're married or not?
But at the same token, you have decided to enter into a legal binding, whether it's no paper or paper back in the day, jumping up Rome, throwing out rice, I don't give a fuck. Whether or not there's a commitment there that's going to legally bind you, that if this goes this way, this is what will happen.
Yeah.
If the business goes that way, this is what will happen. You can get
that's called a prenup.
If you get into a business partner with a girlfriend and say, for instance, she want to break up and just take and run with your ideas, it ain't shit you can do.
Let's all be clear here too. There is, if you guys are be in a business relation, if you're in a relationship and you're in business with somebody that you're in a relationship with, there still has got to be a contract. Like you have to make, I still think that there needs to be contracts in place because of the fact that it's still a contract. Like, whether you want to step to the left or the right, even if you're in a marriage, and y'all get in the business, it's just something else that you got to dissolve to get out of it. If before that and you guys enter into some kind of situation and it's a business, guess what? If you guys decide to break up, you should still have a contract in place. Why? Because it's a business. Just saying, if it's a business,
I believe
put it on paper because you keep saying something about the contract. If it's a business, put it on paper. If it's a real business and you believe in your business, put the shit on paper.
I'm just not going to invest that much time into somebody that can't. I can't invest that much type of energy or that type of time into someone who's not willing to fully commit to me by showing a token of that. I'm sorry, that's just the way I am.
But
I will never change. So
that's what you just feel like
the way I am.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah, I'm just saying, what do you want for them to? For your commitment, because it's not saying that somebody
take each other's name.
You take so if I have your name, I can just still not have your name. All I'm saying is people we really need to get over this whole thing. At the end of the day,
I look at it like this
because you can imagine how many marriages dissolve every year,
and that's so unfortunate. But
I just can't. I mean, just like you said, women are saying you could just. I will never trust anybody. They can do anything that they want. And then the next breath you're saying,
I know if we're in a marriage.
So it's really your peace of mind, and what you need for your peace of mind is somebody's last name, and that works.
Yeah, because both my parents, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to them; they've been married for 41 years, And they have a lot of businesses together and everything like that. They have started a Christian school. They have had an accounting firm.
So should they decide that they don't want to be together anymore?
They have had everything together. They have their assets are together. Everything is together. But they did not do any of that as in the process of them just dating.
So you can say that you want to do this, or your ideas come from your upbringing.
Absolutely.
And that's how lots of people, and this is how
the way I was raised.
This is how we gather our information. This is where, a lot of our ideas come from. And the reason I have to, play the devil's advocate with the whole thing is because at the end of the day, underneath it all, that's where it really came from. This is how I was raised. It doesn't provide you any more security.
Oh, it does. For me, it does.
For you, it does, but it really doesn't provide you real security, because at any given day, this other person dissolve that marriage.
And that's fine. But guess what? I'll still come out half and half, 50-50. 50-50.
But you can still do that before. You can still come out 50-50. If you have a contract before you were married and you guys decided, we're going to do this business before we were married.
A person like me.
Because let me tell you something else that happens. With your marriage, you're going to pay those married taxes, okay? And then the government gets to tell you we're going to get extra money.
Sit here and get into that type of contract with you and open up a business with you and all this extra stuff with you, and you can't even marry. We can't even get a marital commitment first.
I mean, just be careful, because you might find the person who's willing. Because there over time there have been people have been running to the altar. Okay, so these people that are running to the altar, their commitment level. They got the paper. They got exactly what you're talking about. You committed. You did this. You did that. You put it on paper. But they still were not committed to each other.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just get committed just because.
That's what I'm saying. Don't look for the piece of paper. The commitment comes from somewhere else, and the stability of the whole thing comes because you treat everything like, look.
But it goes back.
Business is a business, regardless.
It goes back to the beat. Unfortunately for me, it goes back to the definition. And the level of what marriage really means. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't get into a marriage when you don't have a willingness to commit to that marriage. Like, I'm not getting married to get divorced. I'm not getting married because it feels good and I'm 32 right now and I need to get married. So in
your mind, that really makes you feel very secure that this person is not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
And that's great.
Absolutely.
I mean, everybody has to do whatever they need to do to feel, because it's really... That's what it's all about. We all just need to feel secure. And you got to do whatever you do, feel secure. And that's how you feel secure. I will feel secure with a contract. Like, write me something saying blah, 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 blah. If this happens, this will happen.
So you would feel more, so you wouldn't care if y'all got married or not. You would just sign a contract. You would open up a business and just say, fuck.
Would open up a business but we're contractual business. Like, put a contract on our business. Yeah, I mean,
guys, we're gonna have to take
that really doesn't have anything to do with my commitment to my relationship. That's my thing.
We're definitely gonna have to table this conversation, because it definitely will get this hour 14 minutes.
Yes, continue to have
talk about the measles for DetoxTEA.
Oh, I just want to again. Not even a long conversation. DetoxTEA, you guys know that we talk about health and wellness and things like that. Eb Deceleb was going to share with you a fast that she was on. And I just want to mention really quickly that there has been a measles outbreak. They're calling it outbreak. I think there have been 3 cases so far of measles in this area. And that's Maryland. We have not had that in quite some time, but they are calling it an outbreak of measles. They've identified some places in Pikesville, Maryland. So you guys look up information about that. If you are experiencing, if you see some coughing and runny nose, red eyes, things like that, which is so crazy because when we hear those symptoms, we think cold. You know what I mean? But then you start a rash. And the thing is about measles, it is hella contagious. You can catch measles by being in the room of someone coughed, and that virus will stay in the air up to 2 hours. Okay, for 2 hours, you can't breathe the air without being contracting measles, and it brings up the whole conversation about whether or not we are vaccinating ourselves, or whether or not we're vaccinating our kids. You guys know that that is a huge conversation. Maybe we can talk about that next week, as far as, vaccination versus non-vaccination, whether or not this is a whole ploy to get us to vaccinate. I don't know, but they're saying if you had your 2 measles shots, you should be good to go. But if not, then maybe you should talk to your doctor, your physician about, what to do about that as well. And if you feel like you've been exposed in any kind of way, then you should seek medical attention, but do not go to the office. You need to call them, so that way, in case you have contracted measles, you're not spreading it to the office when you're going. So, and it's contagious up to 4 days before you see the actual red spots that is indicative of having measles. So that is that. You guys read up on it, look into it, and you can see more about that whole situation in news.
That being said, guys, we're definitely going to end the show. Thank you for that. Definitely check out measles. Look up that information, and we'll post more information about measles and things like that. But we're definitely going to end the show. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been awesome. We'll definitely bring up the conversation. I'm sorry, I got it. I get, when it gets to stuff like that, contracts of marriage and commitment, I definitely am one that still believes in marriage. I'm old school. I'm old soul.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
So definitely, we'll definitely table that conversation. We'll talk about it next week. And continue to look out for us. Let us know what you're doing out there, doing positivity. Inbox us, DM. And if you guys have questions that you want us to pose out there, please DM us, because we want questions from you guys as well, so that we could, you guys probably have some questions that we need answers. So definitely send those questions out there our way, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Bye. Thank you for watching SipsTea Show.
Hello.
You be safe too.